Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to this wonderful kitchen, and welcome especially to Neil Haydock, our celebrity chef for this particular session, the second of the day. But first of all, welcome to you. My name is Saul Cambridge. I'm one of the roving reporters and sometime presenter for BBC Radio Cornwall.
You just got to be quite sort of gentle with it. So we've got a pan that's been warming, a little bit of oil in there. And we're just going to take this excess sort of thyme and bay leaf off because we don't want that to burn. But we'll probably pop it back on when it goes into the oven. So nice big sort of mussel there.
Can you all hear that okay?
Yeah.
I love that sound.
Well, if it's doing that, you know it's right. The pan's the right temperature. So I'll pop both pieces in because there's quite a few of you. And I'd like to try a little bit as well.
Oh, you mean we get to try this later?
Absolutely. A little bit of the old Cornish sea salt.
Just tell us a little about the qualities of venison, because it's one of my favourite meats, Neil. It's got that really strong, often like gamey quality, hasn't it?
Does and doesn't. It depends. I mean, these are fallow deer. And as I say, because it's... So I sort of compare it to lamb.
The hotel and the beach hut.
Yep.
The beach hut, clearly slightly more informal dining.
Yeah, I love the beach hut. That's probably my favourite out of all of them. It's got fantastic views over the beach. And this time of the year is definitely locals time.
Yeah.
But yeah, great food. You know, we do like, you know, it's nice sort of burgers, mussels, that kind of thing at lunchtime. And then it could be something like venison. And I know Friday, we've got beef bourguignon on tonight. We made a beef bourguignon up yesterday. You know, loads of sort of onions and lardons of bacon and really sort of like, you know, all the shoulder cuts of the beef slowly second week of February.
So the venison is still just sizzling along nicely, so on the same level of heat?
Well, that's what I mean, yeah. Because we're not... There's always that kind of fear. If you're probably unsure, start with the pan colder and bring the heat up. Yeah. Whereas, you know, because the caramelisation will always happen, but if you do it the other way and you kind of crisp the outside already, you're in trouble, really. You can't go backwards, can you? Whereas you...
Morning, but that would need how long?
About that long. Ready.
I reckon it's been about 6 or 7 minutes, yeah?
Something like that. Yeah. It's all about taste. So everybody goes, how long do you cook that for? Because, well,
yeah.
most you know, natural products, these, you know, they're not equal in shape, size, and all that sort of thing, are they? So...
Just whilst Neil's doing a few other bits and pieces.
You don't get this, do you, with, you know, not tasting?
No, and steam as well. I've just had a question for the audience. We just mull on this in the next 30 minutes. I want the collective noun for a group of chefs. I wonder what that would be.
Italian cooking. You know, especially from sort of the south where, you know, they're quite prolific. But they just kind of add them to sort of, you know, I think we've kind of like, we've lost our way with kind of like seasonings and all that kind of thing over here, you know, and the cabbage will be just cabbage with a bit of salt and pepper on it and a bit of butter in it. And nothing wrong with that, but if you want to take it to the sort of next level and sort of somebody taste it and go, wow, what have you done to that? It's like cooking's all about layers. You put layers into dishes and stuff like that, and then that's what makes food interesting. Your mind actually gets bored. If you keep eating the same thing over and over and over and over, your mind actually gets bored. So there's a good 4 or 5 people off that, easy.
Yeah. So this recipe you brought for us today, is this a Neil creation, or how you've adapted?
Yeah, so it wasn't even a recipe last week and everything, so marketing were chasing me for the recipe and everything so we could put the card together,
right.
Which is kind of the way it always works whenever I'm doing a demo. It's like, come on, we need the recipe. So yeah, we kind of put them together as we go, really.
Fantastic.
Right, are you going to be the guinea pig again?
Shall I? I think you want me to do this for you, wouldn't you?
I haven't put any wine in there. Okay. And that's kind of going to braise now. It's not had to cover it or anything like that. Smelling good?
Smelling very good, yeah. And again, you've got what, a sort of medium heat there? It's not too fierce,
yeah, exactly,
is it?
Yeah, it's just kind of... Always remembering what's going on
I'm slightly
behind.
curious. There's a wonderful sort of half pound of butter here that's just nestling, doing... It's talking to me. It's asking me, why am I here? It'll have firmed up a bit?
Yeah.
You okay with me doing this?
Yeah.
I have to reassure all of you lovely people that I have washed my hands, I promise. Yeah, it's stunning. I'm going to do this again.
So he's there. He's good. What was that, 10 minutes?
Yeah, if that.
Okay.
I think I need to find a job in a kitchen, actually. I don't think Neil would hire me, but... So are you going to branch out into kitchenware, Neil?
Don't think so.
Too much on you. 3 restaurants to run is enough, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're going to let him rest. We're going to pour the juices over. Same thing, it tightens up. And if you cut it straight away, you just end up with a big pool of juices on your sort of board. So, but a lot of other fish are a lot sort of lighter. It's generally more towards meat and stuff like that. All the things that are much more fibrous.
And from a chef's point of view, what is the point of giving it a rest? It just increases the flavour or the tenderness? Or
well, all that juiciness and everything like that, you'll end up with dry meat. Your meat will end up just really sort of dry and tasteless because all the flavour will be on your board.
Yeah.
You might as well just sort of chew on the edge of your board. It'd be about the same sort of texture, but it'll have a lot more flavour.
And is there a rule of thumb for time? Just go on instinct?
Well, like I say, probably about half the time. So 5 minutes if it's been in the oven, asterisk. So a lot of chefs actually use it for the base of their sauces as well. If you want a really nice sort of clear gravy or sauce or whatever, we'll use a gastric because you want that sweetness. Has anybody ever tried to make stocks and sauces and that kind of thing from scratch? It's like you get all the bones and you get flavour, but it's very flat. It's like everything. It needs layers. And where you get those sort of flavours that sort of make it complex like a wine is just the sweetness. So it's like you can do it with carrots and onions, which are naturally high in sugar, or you can do it with a gastric, and do it that way. Which seems it's very much the sort of trend these days.
Yeah, don't meddle. Yeah, okay.
It's all about knowing when to stir.
Yes. I'm making notes. Any more questions? Just put your hand up. We'll definitely. There's one here from this. Yes, ma'am.
Then you can warm it. Just if you put your oven, put it on about sort of 90 degrees, popping back in for 5 minutes, and it's just warming it. You're not cooking it any further. You're just warming it. I'll tell you what a lot of chefs have in their restaurants these days are called these little like a little hot cupboard, and what they have is like moisture in the bottom of them. So it's like you can do it with carrots and onions, which are naturally high in sugar, or you can do it with a gastric, and do it that way, which seems it's very much the sort of trend these days. So you get that lovely sweet sauce that that goes with your steak and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're heating that through.
Yeah, we want the sugar to dissolve.
Yeah. This is also just having a rest.
Yeah.
In the celeriac. I think we've tasted that well enough. We give that a big thumbs up. Yeah. This, I'm an inveterate stirrer when I'm cooking, but I notice that you're very relaxed about that. Like, you haven't said hello to these little cubes for a while. Yeah. We do sun down here in Cornwall for Christmas, have you noticed? Yeah. It's the one day of the year when we do. Sorry, Neil.
I was going to say, don't come tomorrow.
I digress. No, in the business, it's known as just a little bit of filling whilst the cranberries were... Anyway, I'll shut up now.
Right.
What's next?
Get out of Cornwall tonight and everything. Go with a happy memory.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get the cranberries up to a boil, really. There you go. They're near enough there. They're coming up. So exactly the same thing like we were saying. I'm going to whack about sort of... There's 2.5 in there at the moment. That just says Christmas to me.
It sure does. It's all very gorgeous. It's great. It's great. We're going to come and have a go. It's good fun up here. You get to taste lots of things. Coming along?
Oh,
yeah.
So good.
Because all these sort of Christmassy citrus fruits are just coming onto the shelves, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. All the European sort of citrus. This is the time of year now. So they've grown right the way through the season, and now it's.
And the clementine, for you, this is a slightly tongue-in-cheek question because I get very confused about these Christmas citrus fruits. The clementine, Neil, is your preferred Christmas citrus?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. So you get your mandarins, but they do tend to be Southern Hemisphere, where your clementine, 9 times out of 10 is either Spanish or Italian, or maybe even French.
It's travel. You're going to give me another taste, aren't you?
Yeah,
I do like you, Neil Haydock. Right, here we go. Oh, I say. Yeah, that is spectacular. Would you be tempted to put a little bit more alcohol in there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you wanted to put a little, the clementine's really nice because it's really sort of fresh. But if you wanted to put something like a little Cointreau,
you could put a little Cointreau. Yeah, just not too much. Just a little.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's layers. It's all about layers. Exactly. I was just thinking that. I thought I didn't bring my grater. I was going to put some zest in it.
Anyone got a grater in their back pocket would be very handy at this point.
Everybody's brought a grater with them.
Endear yourself to a professional chef. Yeah.
I was
Any
having
graters in the room?
I was having this whole thing going. It was brilliant. I've turned up with everything today.
We could have a quick... Can someone quick go and find one out there now? Yeah. We need a grater. Okay. Oh, what's that? Okay.
You've been talking too much.
My fault. Front row is the place to be, isn't it?
If you let that cool, pop it in the fridge overnight, you'll get that.
Yeah. So it thickens, basically.
Yeah, it's the natural pectin in it.
Yeah.
Right.
So how's it going? Have I been too much of a distraction?
They've turned the water off on me. They've turned the water off on me.
Did they? Oh, okay.
Did you not pay the bill?
We need water and a grater now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a little bit of water there. So we're just going to bring that up to him a little bit quick and everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's, well.
I've got a feeling it's still going to taste pretty good. It's still very sweet. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay. And the venison's still resting nicely over there.
Yeah, so he's good.
What? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You stay at the back there if I were you. He'll come after you with a big sharp knife.
You're next.
Bit of Chichester haunch.
Okay.
So this is what, are you now literally about to put it all together?
Yeah,
are you?
we're just going to put it on the plate now.
Okay. Fantastic.
Nothing more than that.
Yeah. At which point there'll be a rush to the front, I suspect.
Should we go cabbage first? I've got 2 plates, so we can do...
So that really does keep its bulk, doesn't it? That,
yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's
the cabbage,
beautiful, sort of.
Yeah.
The thing is not to undercook it. You know, a lot of people sort of like keep that sort of, you know, it needs to be cooked through,
Yeah.
but not overcooked.
Okay.
So that's kind of, it's one thing we got right.
So we drop a little bit of that on the bed.
Right, a bit of celeriac.
Any more questions? No, we have a... Yeah.
Well, you should be would be, wouldn't it? we get it from our growers in Cornwall, but
right.
I've definitely seen it in the supermarket. One that somebody that I know used to be endorsed for.
Yeah. Okay, hands up if you grow Cavallo Nero here.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, you do. Did you see it on Cornish farmers markets? Anyone? No? Anyone seen it on a farmers market? No. All right. I think, madam, we've just unearthed a great business opportunity for you here today. So, what's your first name? Sue from... Right, folks, get yourself to Launceston, ask for Sue, ask for allotment Sue, and you'll get yourself some fantastic black cabbage, yeah. Okay, right. Meanwhile...
Back at the ranch.
Wow. I'm almost tempted to have a third squeeze, but I think I'll spare everyone that one.
You know...
So that looks extraordinary. It's just... perfectly pink,
the way
isn't
the
it?
colour
Yeah.
is lovely all the way through.
Yeah, wow.
Just
That is looking good, isn't it?
Man's portion.
Fantastic.
You want to try?
Should we try?
You want to try?
You're all going to have a try. I think they're all going to have a chance to have a try, aren't they?
Well, I was gonna let you have a
otherwise
little
there'll be resentment coming. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry about this. I've got to do this for all of you. Okay.
Remember that? It's from here. It's in the leg. How tender is that?
Unbelievable. You really should come and try as soon as. It's gorgeous. Thank you.
Right, cranberry sauce, just to finish him off.
Sorry, say that again.
We always go for haunch. So if you're thinking, if you ask your butcher to do it, seam out a muscle. But yeah, definitely, I mean, for me, leg, because it's used more and everything, so it's going to have much more flavour into it.
The question was, which is the best cut? So Neil
oh, sorry. I mean, so this is all different muscles.
Yeah.
This is all different muscles from the haunch. It's all broken down into. We buy them, and then we break them down ourselves. So a butcher would, you know, hopefully have a haunch and just say, look, can you seam out the muscles? And you can take all of it and whack it in the freezer, and then you sort of take out what you need as and when. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so the actual tenderest part is the loin here in the back and the fillets underneath it, but that's probably 4 times more in price than this is.
And so that does melt in your mouth, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, you'll try it in a second.
So that you're done, are you, effectively? Well, I suggest we give him a huge round of applause, don't you? Yeah. Neil Haydock, thank you. Neil Haydock from Watergate Bay, from the hotel. Thank you very much, Neil. That was extraordinary. Having someone like me distracting you and still being able to do that effortlessly, seamlessly. So are we able to invite people to come up and say hello to you and have a taste? So
we'll
in your own time. Chichester, you're more than welcome. Come and have some real Cornish cooking. And thank you, Sue. Good luck with your new business venture. See you in the middle of Launceston.